24 Ikwere Road, Mile 1 by Education Bus Stop, Port Harcourt. Number 24 Ikwere Road, Mile 1 by Education Bus Stop, Port Harcourt. This promo package will give you the opportunity to enjoy 50% discount on all their products and services. And at the same time, it will give you the privilege of meeting Baba Yoruba himself at the venue. For details and inquiries, the telephone number to call is 080 33 111 946. I repeat, 080 33 111 946. 080 33 111 946. Until we come your way again, remain blessed.
And that was a paid infomercial.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are the voice of the people. Voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM. Today, 95.1 FM.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Hello and good evening. This is the World News on your premium talk radio Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Faustina Uputu. The headlines. Federal government justifies recent increase in passport fees. Rivers State government reassures civil servants of implementation of new minimum wage. On the foreign scene, Trump meets Ukraine president, says time to end Russia's war. Details in a moment. And now the details of the news. The Minister of Interior, Oluwumiti Georgia, has justified the recent increase in passport fees, clarifying that the rise was approximately 45%. Tunjojo attributed the fee adjustment to the exchange rate between the dollar and the naira. In August, the Nigerian Immigration Service announced an upward review of the fees for Nigerian standard passports. As for the new structure, the cost of a 32-page passport booklet with a 5-year validity increased from 35,000 naira to 50,000 naira, while a 64-page passport booklet with a 10-year validity rose from 70,000 naira to 100,000 naira. Many Nigerians expressed disappointment over the fee hike, accusing the government of making migration more expensive. However, speaking at a media briefing in Abuja to mark his first year in office, the minister said the government could not subsidize passport fees for Nigerians. He also clarified that the price increase did not affect the fees for Nigerians living abroad. Niger Delta elder statesman Chief Anaps Saraigbe has identified bureaucracy as the main culprit behind the non-functionality of the refineries in Nigeria. Speaking during the television program, Saraigbe emphasized that the managing director of the refineries should take charge and oversee their operations. He also alleged that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, needs to take off nepotism in its employment process.
Companies are all dying, the operations are also going down because of wrong policies and wrong direction. The refineries themselves, they keep on making promises upon promises, and they are not going to do it unless they go back to the normal process where the MDs take charge of the refineries, where MD has his own management committee, he has his tender board, and he has his own way of running it. Because if you have MD the power to run, he will be forced to run the plant. But when you tie his hands, you tie his leg, and they say, go and run the refinery. How can they run the refinery? One thing is very clear. The refinery as they have today, they are being managed by Nigeria. Most of the experiencers are just retiring and going because there is no new intake. And if there is new intake, it's nepotism. Look at the NNPC as it is. We have over 200 management staff. Only 16 of them are from Niger Delta.
The Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, River State Chapter, has empowered 41 police officers' wives, including widows, through its skills acquisition program aimed at enhancing livelihoods. The beneficiaries received starter packs in various trades, including catering, fashion designing, and hairdressing, during a ceremony that marked the commissioning of the new POA office complex in Port Harcourt. The newly commissioned 12-room office complex at POA Secretariat, named after the National POA President, Elizabeth Egbetokun, wife of the Inspector General of Police, symbolizes a significant step towards empowering the wives of police officers and the facility. Speaking during the commissioning ceremony, River State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Roslyn Uranta, who represented the First Lady, Valerie Fubara, commended POA's efforts, noting that the office complex is a testament to the state's commitment to women empowerment and socio-economic development within the law enforcement community.
We gather at the Police Officers' Wives Association Secretariat to commission the Dr. Mrs. Egbetokun Office Complex, a testament to our commitment to women's empowerment and socio-economic development within the law enforcement community. This edifice, situated within the Police Officers' Wives Association Secretariat, honors Dr. Egbetokun's exceptional leadership and dedication to women's advancement.
In her remarks, the National President of POA and wife, Inspector General of Police, Elizabeth Egbetokun, highlighted the importance of the new complex as she identified the complex as an unwavering support for the men in police uniforms and collective resolve to uplift communities.
The launching or opening ceremony of POA Peace Complex, River State. This is not just a brick and mortar structure. It represents our unwavering commitment to supporting our loved ones in uniform and our collective resolve to uplift communities, promote welfare, and foster unity among families of police officers. As the national president of the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, I am acutely aware of the challenges and responsibilities that our officers face daily.
On their part, River State Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, expressed gratitude to Egbetokun and the River State government, stating the facility will not only boost their operational capacity but also serve as a beacon of hope and assurance to the police community. While the chairperson of POA River State, Olufumilola Disu, also reflected on the journey leading to the project's completion, noting that despite economic challenges, POA remained focused on improving the welfare of its members.
Carrying this important event, and to our esteemed governor for his unwavering support, which has been instrumental in making this project a reality. This facility will not only boost our operational capacity, our relationship with members of the public, but also serve as a beacon of hope and reassurance to our communities. Together, we continue to work tirelessly to ensure the safety and well-being of every citizen of the state.
The Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, is a non-profit, non-governmental, non-ethical, non-political, and non-religious organization dedicated to promoting sisterhood and providing social welfare for all ranks of police officers' wives and their families. We initiate and implement ideas.
Moving on, the River State government has reassured civil servants that it remains committed to implementing the new minimum wage as promised. The State Commissioner for Information, Joseph Johnson, explained that the delay in implementation is due to the state government awaiting the breakdown of the wage bill from the federal government. In an interview with Today FM's Ifunaya Obemendukwe, Johnson emphasized that Governor Siminalayi Fubara prioritizes the welfare of civil servants.
What delayed the implementation was because we expected that the Wage Commission would have given us the templates to run with it. At the last event we had of civil servants during the Civil Service Week, the SSG clearly stated that our government is prepared to run with whatever the Wage Commission would present. I imagine that we have not reneged on that promise. We are relying on that one, and I'm sure that once that is before us, His Excellency, who by the grace of God is a civil servant, and until he became governor, he was a civil servant and has always put the issues of civil service above a number of considerations. Will not renege on his word.
The federal government and organized labor agreed on a new minimum wage of 70,000 naira in July 2024. It was subsequently signed into law by President Bola Tinubu following the passage of the Minimum Wage Act by the National Assembly in July. The University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital UPTH has advocated for improved health-seeking behaviors from Nigerians to ensure early detection of diseases and successful treatment. The chairman of the Medical Advisory Committee, CMAC, at UPTH, Professor Datoye Lasia, during a briefing with newsmen after the hospital's ground rounds revealed that the patient under discussion had ovarian cancer who had endured pain for 10 years, mistakenly attributing it to an ulcer. Professor Alasia urged families with a history of genetically transmitted diseases to undergo regular checkups, as he also emphasized the importance of conducting autopsies, noting that they are crucial for further studies and benefit families with hereditary conditions.
The major take-homes from this presentation is good health-seeking behavior for people to present early. You can see that in this case, this woman had this abdominal growth and swelling for almost 3 years, had that abdominal pain for about 10 years before coming to get care. Those preventive issues, especially when there's a family history. So when people have that family history, it's important that they also take note that in their family this runs, and going for those periodic checks, issue of autopsy, and the reluctance within our own environment, cultural and other barriers to accept autopsy. When we have unexplained deaths or deaths within a certain time, we have a policy where an autopsy should be done, most time at no cost to the person, because we want to dig deeper.
Also speaking, consultant gynecologist in obstetrics and gynecology at UPTH, Professor Nyegediki Kennedy, cautioned that not all stomach and chest pains should be assumed to be ulcer-related. Dispelling the misconception that ulcers are untreatable, Professor Kennedy explained that ovarian cancer can sometimes be mistaken for a stomach ulcer, just as he advised patients diagnosed with ulcers to seek thorough medical evaluation.
This particular patient had what I was assumed to call an undiagnosed ulcer. When people have chest pain, they believe that's an ulcer. Certain specific steps that need to be taken by the patient to make a definitive diagnosis of an ulcer. Certain things look like ulcer pain. They do not necessarily mean that the patient has an ulcer. Ovarian malignancies have non-specific symptoms, meaning that they may have complaints that may mimic ulcer pain, which may actually not be ulcers. So ovarian malignancies have been known to have non-specific symptoms, and ulcer pains are known to be one of the main presentations of patients that have those cancers. If a patient has an ulcer, treatment for 1 to 2 months will suffice. The treatment should not be more than 1 to 2 months, except the ulcer is caused by maybe a cancer.
Today FM's Ifonaya Obemendikwe reports that the topic for the grand round was management of infrarenal abdominal aortic aneurysm coexisting with a huge ovarian mass, a multidisciplinary team approach. A man simply identified as Chinedu and resident in Anozie Street in Mile 2 Diobu, Port Harcourt City local government area of Rivers State, has fled the state to evade arrest after he was accused of serially raping his 14-year-old daughter for the past 2 years. Today FM correspondent gathered that residents became aware of the alleged rape after his daughter complained to a neighbor. The neighbors thereafter took the girl to the Azikiwe Police Division at Ilabuchi, Mile 2 Diobu, where the matter was reported. Today FM gathered that the teenage girl, in her statement at the police station, alleged that her father had defiled her for 2 years. Neighbors told Today FM that her father, Chinedu, fled his house when he discovered he had been reported to the police. In the meantime, the Center for Basic Rights Protection and Accountability campaign, through its national coordinator, Prince Wiru, has called on neighbors with useful information on the whereabouts of the suspect to disclose to the police.
We are aware of the alleged defilement of a 14-year-old girl by his supposed father at Diobo. We use this medium to urge residents that may have useful information about the suspect to pass such information to the police with a view to arresting and making him answer for the allegation levied against him. As we all know, without the availability of the suspect, investigation cannot be concluded and veracity of the allegation cannot be ascertained.
While detectives attached to the Azikiwe Police Division at Ilabuchi Mile 2 Diobu confirmed the incident, the spokesperson for the River State Police Command, Superintendent of Police Grace Iringe Koko, has yet to make an official statement. You're listening to the World News on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Do stay tuned.
Chiefs, leaders, women, youths, and stakeholders of the Rivers Ijaw People's Congress, RIPCO, invites you to the Rivers Ijaw Civic Reception in honor of His Excellency Nyesom Ezenwawike, CON, GSSRS, POS Africa, the former governor of Rivers State and the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nigeria. This event will hold on Saturday, 28 September 2024 at the Rainbow Town, Amadiama, in Port Harcourt local government area. The time is 10 a.m. prompt. Come, let us celebrate a lover of Ijaw Nation, a lover of Ijaw people and Ijaw communities who has done so much for us. Signed, Senator George Thompson Sekibo, Leader, Honorable Roland Sekibo, Director General, Honorable Erastus Awotu, Secretary, Honorable Vincent Nimiboka, Chairman, Publicity Committee.
Thanks for staying tuned. Welcome back to the rest of the stories. In line with the constitutional provision of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA, over 20,000 traders from the OML 58 communities have benefited from the free interest loans initiated by the Obagi Oilfields Host Communities Development Trust, HCDT. The disbursement of 100,000 Naira micro credit loans to the traders was done at Obite Community Civic Center in Ogba, Egbemandoni local government area. The Board of Trustees Chairman of OML 58 of the Obagi Oilfields Host Communities Development Trust, Hobson Dike, who expressed satisfaction that the board fulfilled its promise to the people, said his vision is to ensure that the people get all their entitlements. Hobson disclosed that the initiative was aimed at contributing to the economic well-being of the traders at local communities, stressing that it is strategic due to the current economic situation in the country.
Formally disbursed the well-thought-out microcredit loan to rural market women and men, where we disbursed 100,000 Naira each to over 2,400 persons in Rumete, Prayer again, Iduama clusters, which for us is always fulfilled. I was excited that our people could be this happy and express their happiness and confidence in our leadership. It was a thought-out initiative which I presented to the board. There's a genuine commitment that we need to change the narrative. And I can tell you that the Obagi Host community is a model about community development and empowerment. And I will want the River State government and other NCDT to emulate the model of having the people first.
On their part, two members of the Obagi HCDT board, Ike Joseph and Ugochukwu Orikoha, and a member of the advisory committee, Sunny Ogide, advised the beneficiaries of the non-interest loans to invest the money and ensure that it is used for their development and the development of their immediate environment.
We do believe that anyone who is wise would definitely want to invest the money, despite how small it is, So that is just a basic thing why we think it is necessary to implement that
is to avoid and rejuvenate and transmogrify the local economy. And you can see that, so as we talk now, quite a whole lot of local business people have been empowered.
Some of the beneficiaries of the microcredit loans who confirmed that they have received monies into their individual account promised to invest the money into their existing businesses to improve their lives, just as they commended the board chairman for his transparency.
Yes, I have 100,000 naira. Send them a big thank you for them to plan this loan of a thing, and at the end it came to accomplish. I am grateful. Money, I'm a businesswoman. It will go a long way for me. Everyone knows that this time around things are very high. Things are very costly. So if I add this 100,000 naira to my account, it will go a long way for me, and my business will expand a lot.
To use it to add up for my business so that the thing will increase.
A Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has taken a significant step towards resolving the controversy surrounding the rightful successor to the throne of Inyewele, Rumeme Kingdom in Obiakpo local government area. The court, presided over by Justice D.G. Kyo, issued an order restraining Kingsley Wobo, Prince Will Adiele Aso Ohonda, Anderson Ehule, and Prince Andrew Nserem from installing Prince Timothy Nserem or any other individual as the paramount ruler of Rumeme Kingdom. In a ruling on a suit filed by His Royal Majesty Ndamzi Nserem, Justice Kyo also prohibited Timothy Nserem from presenting himself as Inyewele, Rumeme Kingdom, until the case is resolved. The court further ordered the plaintiff to provide an undertaking to pay damages if the suit is deemed frivolous, and instructed that the defendants be served a motion on notice. The case was adjourned to October 2, 2024 for a report of service or hearing on motion on notice. As the Action People's Party APP wraps up its campaign rally ahead of the upcoming local government elections, the party's National Chairman Uche Nadi has urged the people of Rivers State to vote for APP to put an end to tyranny and oppression, promising a positive change in the state. During the Rivers East Senatorial District campaign, Nadi praised the large turnout and active participation of supporters as he assured the public that the APP's candidates would bring much-needed transformation, emphasizing that the party is here to stay. Nadi also highlighted that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has officially handed over the voters' register to the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RISIEC, ensuring that the election would be conducted in accordance with the law.
The people here are people who want to put shame to those in Abuja who continue to lie every day, deceiving the authorities, deceiving Mr. President that they are in charge of Rivers State. The people who are here are people who want to put to rest all their life. No wonder they are running from one court to another. No wonder they don't want the election to hold, but I can have a strong message for them. As there is no going back for 5th of October election. The local government election will hold. Not only that it will hold, APP will win.
Meanwhile, the state chairman of the party, Sonny Wokekoro, described APP as a trailblazer in the political landscape, noting the people's cooperation in their mission to change governance in the River State.
For those who want the etymology of anybody belonging to our party, I tell anybody who cares to listen, our party belongs to the people. Our party does not belong to Sonny Wokekoro. Because without Sonny Wokekoro, this march of freedom, and today I took the liberty, even without consulting the people, to invite my national chairman and his team to come and witness the change that is taking place, the organic change that is taking place in Rivers State. And I'm sure the national chairman is challenged. When he leaves here today, he will go back and tell other states, please go and learn from Rivers State.
Today FM reports that candidates for Rivers East Senatorial District include Ichemati Prince Charles for Port Harcourt City, Chijoke Ewo for Obiakpo Promise Reginald for Omoma LGA, Ismail Oforibika for Ogubolo, Israel Abosi for Ikwere LGA, Achese Igwe for Okrika, David Omeriji for Emoa, and John Otameri for Eche LGA. On behalf of his family and the good people of Units 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Elele Alimini Ward 9, Emoa Local Government Area, Rivers State, Chief Ainda Johnson has urged voters to come out and vote David Omeriji for the chairmanship position in the upcoming local government elections in October 5. Johnson also solicited support for Francis Oka as councillor for Elele Alimini Ward 9. According to Johnson, his endorsement of Omeriji is based on Omeriji's efforts in providing electricity to communities including Elele Alimini, Akpabo, Itu, and Egbeda, and his commitment to restoring power to other areas in Emoa. The former Elele Alimini Ward 9 councillor in a statement emphasized that Omeriji is dedicated to restoring electricity, empowering the people and improving road infrastructure in the area. The Caretaker Committee Chairman of Ahoda East Local Government Area, Happy Bennett, has extended his reception to the founder and spiritual leader of the Deeper Life Bible Church, Pastor Williams Kumuyi. Kumuyi arrived at Ahoda East for a life-changing crusade with a theme, The Wonders of God's Grace, holding at Western Ahoda County High School. The CTC Chairman Bennett, in a statement by his press secretary, Abobo Chemele, thank God, assured the missionaries of his resolve to provide serene environment and adequate security before, during, and after the program. The statement enjoined everyone living in Ahoda East and Orashi, by extension, to make good use of the golden opportunity to reconcile with God and embrace a new life. The event is slated from 26 September to 1st October 2024 at 4 p.m. every day. The CTC chairman thanked Pastor Kumuyi for finding Ahoda East suitable for the crusade. Moving on to the foreign scene, Donald Trump has met with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky at his New York base in Trump Tower and says it was time Russia's war in Ukraine was settled. The Republican presidential nominee has repeatedly criticized the Ukrainian leader on the U.S. campaign trail, and a meeting between the pair had seemed unlikely until hours before. As the two men stood side by side, Zelensky said he thought they had a common view that the war has to be stopped and Putin cannot win, adding that he would discuss with Trump details of his victory plan. Despite years of differences, Trump insisted he had a very good relationship with Zelensky. Trump was impeached in 2019 over accusations that he pressured Zelensky to dig up damaging information on the Biden family. A rough transcript of the call revealed Trump had urged Zelensky to investigate Joe Biden as well as Biden's son, Hunter. Standing beside Zelensky on Friday, he praised the Ukrainian leader's handling of the issue. To end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. The federal government has justified the recent increase in passport fees. You heard that the Rivers State government has reassured civil servants of its commitment to implementing the new minimum wage. And on the foreign scene, we told you that former U.S. President Donald Trump has met with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky and has said it is time to end Russia's war. That was the news as edited by Ifunaya Obemendukwe. For comments and inquiries, please call 0818-389-2850 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I'm Faustina Oputu. Good evening. Thanks for listening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
What's a successful business without sales? And what is sales without an audience? Well, do you know that you can reach 8 million listeners across 6 states in 2 geopolitical zones all at once? How? With Today 95.1 FM, you can get millions of people to know about your business. And what does that mean to you? More sales. Call 081-389-2850 now for more information. It's been an exciting week. It's been an awesome week. And just in case you missed out on our big stories this week, we got you covered. Rewind comes up every Saturday, 6:30 a.m. And here you get your total rundown of all the big stories and trends for the week in Rivers State. And this is brought to you by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Rewind, 6:30 a.m. every Saturday. Don't miss it.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark.
Children are a beam of sunlight. On Kiddies Playground, smart is the new cool. We have interesting activities lined up for everyone, from storytelling to games to quizzes, where you get to win loads and loads of gifts. Do you have what it takes to compete and win exciting prizes? Then don't miss any episode of Kiddies Playground every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. only on Today 95.1 FM, where playtime comes to life.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
BBC World Service, I'm Audrey Brown in London with Focus on Africa. Sudan's president has been addressing the United Nations as the army continues a major offensive in the capital Khartoum.
Sudan is facing very serious challenges. You've all witnessed the crimes and violations and atrocities committed by these rebels targeting the Sudanese people and the Sudanese state.
Was there a coup attempt in Benin recently? And the remains of South African freedom fighters returned decades after they died in foreign countries.
Our father left in 1962 and then he died in Zimbabwe in 1989. Yeah, so I would say the family has been in perpetual wait, since 1989 when he died,
That's all on the BBC Tonight in Focus. First, the news.
BBC News, I'm John Shea. In an address to the UN General Assembly, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said his country is at war, fighting for its life against what he called savage enemies.
The real war criminals are not in Israel. They're in Iran. They're in Gaza, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Yemen. Those of you who stand with these war criminals should be ashamed of yourselves.
Mr. Netanyahu said Israel's offensive against Hezbollah in Lebanon would continue until its objectives were met. There was booing and a number of delegates walked out as Mr. Netanyahu took the stage. The Israeli leader accused the General Assembly itself of being an anti-Semitic swamp. In South Lebanon, Israel has carried out more strikes. The Lebanese health minister says 25 people have been killed. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is holding talks with Donald Trump as he continues a diplomatic push in the United States ahead of the presidential elections there in November. In opening remarks, they outlined different views. Mr. Zelensky spoke of the importance of strengthening Ukraine and of it needing to prevail in the war. Mr. Trump, without giving any details, said he would end the war very quickly.
We have a very good relationship, and I also have a very good relationship, as you know, with President Putin. And I think if we win, I think we're going to get it resolved very quickly. We're going to have a good meeting today, and I think the fact that we're even together today is a very good sign.
On a visit to Belgium, Pope Francis has apologised again for the scourge of child sexual abuse within the Catholic Church, saying it needed to seek forgiveness. He called the crimes shameful. The pontiff's comments were echoed by the Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo.
When something goes wrong, we cannot accept a cover-up. This damages everybody's valuable work. Today, therefore, words are not enough. Concrete steps must be taken.
The Pope is also due to meet a group of Belgian survivors of sexual abuse. He said he was saddened by the issue of forced adoptions when unmarried mothers were made to give up their babies by institutions run by nuns. A new report by the United Nations Human Rights Office says more than 3,500 people have been killed in ongoing violence in Haiti since the start of this year. It says powerful armed gangs who control parts of the Caribbean nation are using sexual violence to punish, spread fear and subjugate populations. The gangs are also accused of recruiting large numbers of children. The UN Human Rights Commissioner Volker Turk urged the Haitian authorities and the international community to do more to restore stability and protect people in the country. Kenya is currently leading a small multinational security mission to Haiti. This is the latest world news from the BBC. The most high-profile North Korean defector in recent years has said South Korea should engage with the elites in Pyongyang to bring about regime change. Ri Il-gyu said the North's elites were discontented with Kim Jong-un's regime. He told a forum that Mr. Kim's fear of a coup had put them under increased surveillance, and many were being continuously replaced and demoted as officials. The Sudanese army says it has seized key positions in and around the capital, a day after it launched a new offensive against the paramilitary